Hi guys, welcome back. Yeah, it's only been a little while. Actually, it's the same day as the other video that's going to be coming out before this one, because I wanted to kind of piggyback on that video and kind of go into a little bit further of what I was talking about, because I kind of like danced around and talked about a few different things, but mainly about the judgment and the expectations of others and the opinions of others on how they feel you should be living your life, or believing what they believe, or not believing in certain things, or just people trying to impose their feelings and their thoughts and their opinions when you're not asking for advice or whatever, whatever it may be. Basically, I wanted to, first off, I want to say that I apologize because I say a lot, and I'm really trying hard to stop saying like and this and it's just like a common thing. And I know I'm not the only one who does it, but when you're doing videos, it's kind of annoying when you hear somebody constantly so I'm trying really hard to not do that. And earlier when I did the video, the first video, I was tired, I kind of had a rough day, rough start, and just it's been kind of rough since then. So a few hours have passed and I laid down, I took a nap. Like, my makeup actually withheld taking a nap, so I just kind of powdered a little bit because I was a little bit oily. When I go to sleep, I get a little bit oily and I don't sleep with my makeup on. So but I did take some notes because I didn't want to, the things that were going through my mind, I didn't want to lose that, because I was just like, things were just popping into my head, but I was so tired to do another video. Right after the other video, I thought, okay, I'll either do it tomorrow or I'll see if I rest up and how I feel, at this point. And do I want to do the video today or tomorrow? So I'm just going to go ahead and just do the video now. And basically, like I said, I wanted to piggyback on what I was talking about of people's expectations. And sorry, I had to adjust the computer so it doesn't time out. So basically, yeah, what, I'm looking down. This is not scripted. These are just notes that I took because, like I said, they're just like points that I don't want to, lose track of. So they're just mental notes. Because as you know, I can get off track and on a tangent. I saw this t-shirt in Estes Park and it said, I don't have ADD, I just have, oh look, there's a squirrel, So it's just kind of funny because sometimes I can lose focus and sometimes I get carried away and I'll start talking about one thing and then it'll lead me to something else, and then I won't even talk about what the initial thing was. So I'm trying to stay on track. But yeah, so anyhow, it's just really interesting how people and people's opinions and people's feelings and people's thoughts of what you should be doing, like that just blows me away. Like how much emphasis and how much time and energy they put on what they feel that you should be doing. And basically, like, everybody just needs to be responsible for themselves. Be responsible for your life, be responsible for your decisions, your your judgment, your lack of judgment, your whatever it is, that you do or you say or you think or choices you make. You be responsible for you. You can't be responsible for anybody else. You can't carry anybody else's crap. You're not responsible. We're there for each other, but we're not responsible to fix everything and everybody, because we can barely live with our own stuff. So I just think that everybody needs to own their own shit and be responsible and mature. I mean, and a lot of people will put the attention and focus on you and all your flaws and all your mistakes and all your negative thinking and all your bad choices, and learn from your past. And you know, everybody has all this great advice for us about, you know, what we should do moving forward. And if I were you, I would do this, and if I were you, I would do that. Like, no, you wouldn't. You couldn't handle being me, first of all. I don't think you could walk a mile in my shoes. We're not meant to walk in each other's shoes. So, but I mean, when it comes down to people saying, you know, well, you need to quit living in the past, you know, that happened, that, you know, back then. But, you know, it doesn't have to, you know, determine who you are. You know, my past does not define me, but my past was real, okay? My upbringing, all the stuff that I went through, all the abusive relationships, and, you know, just all the crap that I went through made me who I am today. No, I'm not living in the past. Do I reflect back every now and then? Yeah, I do, because I like to see, like, okay, when I'm starting to feel down, I have to tell myself, look, at you went through this, 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 and this. So, you know, what's going on in front of you right now is nothing compared to the stuff that you've already been through. So, I basically just wanted to stress those points is, you know, people like to deflect from their own stuff and, again, put the attention on you. You know, I don't need help. Like, I don't need help to figure out what's best for me. Like, obviously, like, sometimes we'll say, well, what do you think? You know, like, what do you think? What would you do? And we do that just because we're human. And we will ask, like, what would you do if you were me? But do we take that and run with it? No. We just take little bits and pieces of maybe advice that we do ask for, if we ask for it. And we kind of work that in with what we already know, what we're already thinking about. Maybe we already have a decision, you know, already made, and we just want to just get a little bit of input from other people. But no, I don't need help with decisions that I need to make for myself. You know, I get a lot of crap for my tattoos, and, you know, the amount of tattoos that I'm getting and how much I'm getting, and I'm not done. Nope, I'm not done. I have a whole bunch of other work that I'm getting done. Am I getting carried away? No, I'm doing what I've always wanted to do. I just put a lot of stuff on hold for a while because I was really focusing on relationships, and I was really focusing on my walk with God. And, you know, yes, I'm still walking with God, and yes, I am still believing, and I still have faith, and I still have hope, and I still pray every single day, and I still wake up and thank God every day for the new day. Have I, like, kind of come down a little bit from that, not losing my faith or losing my hope, and not backsliding? I'm just simply realizing that, you know, I've been, like, trying to live up to this standard of other people's expectations of what a real Christian woman looks like, or what a real Christian woman does. And if I were a real Christian woman, I wouldn't be getting all these tattoos on me. If I were a real Christian woman, you know, I wouldn't be, I don't know, out riding my motorcycle. I would be, you know, in the house and be an obedient, submissive wife. And, you know, there are biblical things, and I'm not going to go too far into that, but there are biblical expectations or biblical laws, if you will, that, you know, what a wife should do, what a husband should do, you know, the head of the household. But when you have dysfunction and you have religion being a tool, a weapon, using religion as a weapon, everything loses all credibility. Like, it's not even about the Bible anymore, and it's not even biblical. It's just toxic, and it's just it's not healthy. And so, you know, the game changes completely. And for 4 years, I've just tried really hard to be a good Christian. You know, I'm still going to be a good Christian. I'm still going to be a good daughter, you know, of the King. And I am just going to work a little bit harder now on being more assertive and being more, putting myself out there, and, you know, trying to be there for more people. Although there's not very many people in my life right now, the people that are there, I'm going to try to be just a little bit more attentive and more present, and just more present for myself and more in tune with myself and in different avenues of self-healing. And that's what I've been doing. I've been self-healing, like I said before, and you know, studying and reading and watching YouTube videos and just really figuring out health-wise, physically, mentally, spiritually, however, whatever ways I can get fed in a positive and exhale the negativity and the toxins. And I do all that with my meditation and my breathing. I breathe, you know, I breathe in the cool, clear, fresh air, and I blow out the dark, murky, toxic, you know, what's inside. I sage, I smudge, which is another thing, is that I get a lot of crap for that, because people say that by me smudging and saging that I'm conjuring spirits up, which I just think is a bunch of crap. Like, you know, be who you are. Just be who you are. Just appreciate and respect people for who they are and what they believe and what you believe. And sometimes we're going to believe the same things, but probably, you know, we're probably not going to be exactly to the T. I might think one way and you might think that way, but then we might have a, you know, disagreement as far as something else goes, like a scripture or whatever, something biblical or not biblical, or just, you know, I just think that for me, I need relationships that are not one-sided, and relationships that are respectful, and relationships that are, let's agree to disagree, and it's okay to have disagreements, and it doesn't have to be a big blowout, you know, fight. I think that if you don't have that, and you don't have that communication, and you don't have that friendship, you're really losing out on a lot of stuff. Because when relationships are already having problems in other areas, but you know, let's say you have this great relationship or marriage or boyfriend, girlfriend, whatever, and you know, you guys just can't talk to each other. Like, you're very passionate, you guys are intimate, you know, you have this great chemistry or whatever, but you can't talk, and anytime you talk, you get into a big fight. So when you lose your chemistry or your, you know, whatever physical attraction, or that spark flame dies, you don't have the friendship to fall back on. You don't have the, okay, well, it's just me and you, I'm just a man and a woman, you know, we're just friends talking. You know, it's important to be a best friend to your partner, whoever it is. Like, you have to be friends first. So if you're not friends and you're having all these issues, and they're telling you, they're trying to, you know, put all their beliefs on you and telling you, you need to do this, and by you doing that, it's you know, you're not bringing glory to the kingdom of God, and you're bringing glory to yourself, and it's just a whole bunch of like mumbo jumbo, and I'm just over it. You know, I'm over all that. No, I love the Lord, I love Jesus, I will never walk away from Jesus, but if people aren't leading you to Jesus or pushing you towards Jesus because they're Christians and they love you and they want the best for you, if they're not loving you and feeding you and pushing you towards the Lord because that's what they strongly believe 150%, if they're not doing that, then they don't love you. Like, people say I love you, and it's just, they throw the word around so much that love is an action. Love isn't just a word. Love is what you do. It's what you say. It's how you treat people. Like, love is an action word. And people say, well, you know, I do this because I love you, and I did that because I love you. And no, like, people really need to sit down and figure out, what is love? Like, love is a term that is used so loosely and lightly that it's just got all lost in transition. Like, what is love? Love doesn't hurt. Love doesn't cause pain. That's not love. And I do know that. I may not know a lot, and I may not know exactly what love is, but I do know what love isn't. So anyhow, so I don't want to get off track. You know, people, okay, so I'm just reading my notes, but people misunderstand that what you think of me, like what people think of you, says absolutely nothing about you. The bad things and negative things that they think about you isn't even about you. It's about them, and it's about how they feel about themselves, and what people hate about us, what they dislike about us, you know, drives them crazy because it's what they lack. Like, people lack compassion, people lack sensitivity, people lack you know, kindness, sense of humor, strength. Like the stuff that people hate the most in us, the people that come after us, I should say, and who they're, to me, they're just narcissists. Okay, there's narcissist people who are very, 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 very strong-willed and very adamant about, this is my way and this is the right way and this is the only way. And if you go against that, you're in for a big warfare, spiritual, and can get physical. So you have to be really careful and make sure you're keeping yourself safe. But what they do is people try to shame you. They try to shame you in, they see you doing something positive, and they see you doing something that maybe makes you happy, and they see you getting stronger, and they see that you maybe don't need them so much and you're good without them, and they know that you're good without them. So what they try to do is they try to shame you and try to make you feel bad about what you're doing. And if they can get you to think, well, I shouldn't be doing this, and maybe I should be doing more of this, and maybe what they're saying is, you know, maybe I'm going against, and maybe I'm getting lost in, you know, slipping back into old sinful natures or whatever. But I'm not going to let people get into my head like that anymore. And I let that happen for too long, and I'm not going to do that any longer. But yeah, they try to shame us in hopes to get us so down and discouraged that they break us down, and then we just give up and we give in to them. And they have to prove to themselves that they're in control. That, you know, if they can get you under their thumb and they can get you to submit again to their belief system, or, you know, everybody has their own belief systems. Like, everybody has their own beliefs. We are all entitled to our own opinions and our own beliefs, and we follow our own, what we believe is right for us, and without intentionally hurting people. If people get hurt along the way, like, I'm really sorry, that's not my intention. My intention is never to hurt people. My intention is to love and express, and I do the best I can of expressing without offending and hurting people. But at the end of the day, because of my life and everything that I've been through, if it comes to, it's either me or you, it's going to be me. And I love you, and it's not that I don't love you, it's that I love you, but I love me more. And it's not a matter of being selfish. There just comes a point in time in your life when enough is enough. And at some point when you don't have people standing up for you, and that's kind of been the story of your life for multiple reasons, and not like, oh, I'm just a pity party and I'm just going to feel sorry for me because this has happened and that's happened. And it's not about that. It's just about, you've been surrounded by a lot of selfish, narcissistic people in your life, which is, you know, what you know, it's familiar to you, and so you attract those type of people. So you're always interacting with those type of friends, those type of relationships. You're just drawn to those people, or they're drawn to you, because a narcissist always needs an empath and a supply, and an empath, you know, codependent, I guess is what it's called. They kind of go together, but they don't. Like, they go together because the narcissist sucks and takes all the energy from the empath, and the empath is so loving and giving and caring and wanting to help the narcissist. But what the narcissist does is they let you in, and they let you learn different things about them, but they don't want you to learn the truth about them. Because then, I mean, that's a game changer. You know, you have red flags here and there already, but it's a game changer if you really, the narcissist doesn't ever want you to get to know them like fully. So they want to find out all your weaknesses, all your weak spots, and what hurts you the most, and what you've been through. And if you've noticed, if you're an empath, you've shared pretty much the majority of your life with the narcissist, or with that person, selfish person. They don't even have to be a narcissist, but I'm just using narcissist because I have a lot of those in my life, and I've had a lot of those in my life. And setting boundaries and putting my foot down is causing a whole lot of discomfort for other people, and a tiny bit uncomfortable for me, because, you know, there's certain people I have to be around at times that they don't like the boundaries that I've set. And so you get a lot of temper tantrum type behavior, you know, like you know, hanging their face, or making noise, or just like looking at you weird, or huffing and puffing. And it's just stuff that is just not good for my spirit. And so yeah, it's just a really bad combination. And just taking care of you, just take care of you. Okay, just take care of you, because if you're not good and you don't take care of yourself, who's going to take care of you? If you get sick and all these uncaring people that aren't there for you to lean on right now, who's going to be there for you to lean on if you crumble because you let everybody get to you, and you let everybody make you feel like what you're doing is wrong? So anyhow, they just want to feel, you know, in control. They want to feel strong and powerful, and they have this whole false sense of identity. And, you know, it's almost, they're like chameleons. Like, you have all these strengths, right? You have all these strengths and gifts, and, you know, they might be smart, intelligent, and they might have a lot going for them, but they don't know who they are. Like, they haven't gotten in touch with their true self. Like, for me, I can speak for myself, because I've been through a lot. I've been down that path. Maybe I've been that person, you know, maybe I was a narcissist, whatever. But I've been there. I'm not there anymore. Okay. I woke up. I'm woke. And, I can't be bullied, and I can't be intimidated, and I can't be persuaded, and I can't be swayed. And people don't like that. They just don't like that. So a lot of times, because they don't have their own, they have so many insecurities, and so their self-worth is so low, that when you come against them, they feel like you're attacking them. In actuality, you're just defending yourself, and you're just standing for what you believe. And they take that as they get offended, and you're hurting them, and how dare you, you know, attack them that way, and how dare you, you know, hurt their feelings and make them feel less than, when you're just simply stating how you feel, what you need, your boundaries. And they don't like that. They don't like that. So what they do is they take your strengths, that your strengths become their strengths, and they, you know, they're all like, I'm not crippled, but they're like, I just picture like they're just all like hunched over, you know, and they're just like in their own funk and their own, you know, grimy, bitter, angry darkness. And then they got somebody who's strong-willed and strong-minded, and, you know, they can speak and stand up for what they want. And so they see those strengths in you, and then they suck a little bit of it here, and they suck a little bit of it there, and they suck a little bit of it here. And before you know it, they're getting stronger, and you're the crazy weak one who has all these issues and insecurities. I'm not letting that happen anymore. That's happened to me multiple times in the past, and I'm not. And this is something that, you know, just plays a role in my whole, everything that I'm doing right now, as far as YouTube goes, and as far as just everything that I'm doing in my life right now, is I'm not going to be manipulated in any kind of way. So don't let people manipulate you and guilt you into doing things. Just do what's right for you. Okay? If people love you, they're going to love you, and they're going to accept you for who you are. They're not going to try to change you. And if they are trying to change you, then they don't really love you. Okay? Then love becomes a whole different thing. It's more of an obsession. It's more of, maybe they don't even know how to love. Maybe they're just in love with the idea of being in love, or maybe they're just obsessed and it's about control. Because I don't know any love that hurts, and love that scares you and love that isolates you, that's not love. So, I mean, I'm not an expert. I'm not a doctor. You know, I'm not a psychiatrist, but I know enough and have been around the block enough to know what's what. And I'm still learning and I'm still finding things out. But, you know, don't let people suck your energy. Like, don't let people suck your strengths. Don't let people take away, you know, it's just like a spiritual identity theft. Like, they literally are stealing your identity. And maybe not to the extreme of, oh, I'm Des, you know, not to that extreme, but taking my strength and my energies, taking my, let's say I believe strongly about something, and then they'll come out and say, well, this is what I believe in. Or if you say, you know what, I'm not going to take your abuse anymore, I'm not going to, you know, let you verbally attack me, or I'm not going to let you belittle me or devalue me in any kind of way. And then they come back at you and say, well, I'm traumatized. Well, what you're doing to me is abuse. And then they flip the whole thing and they become the victim. And then it's just like, then you're going, wait, what? Like, what happened? What just happened here? They do it so quick that you're just like, is it me? Or, you know, it's insane. So, but yeah, it's definitely a spiritual identity theft. And, I just think that, for people that come against you and people that judge you, whether they're narcissists or they're not narcissists, there's so much more that I want to say on this topic, but I'm going to like split it up into different videos, because it just, like, the floodgates opened earlier and like all this stuff just came pouring out, which is why I just started writing everything down, because I don't want to lose sight and I don't want to forget, you know, what points I want to make and what I want to talk about, because there's so much that I want to talk about and share of my own stuff. And a lot of the stuff I'm saying right now has to do with my personal life. Just not saying, you know, names and whatnot. But all I can say to end this video is just know that get yourself safe. Make sure you're safe. Make sure you're not in a situation where you're in danger or your kids are in danger or whatever. Like, get to a safe place, separate yourself, you know, have somebody come over, whatever. But the one thing that can bring you a little bit of peace, I guess, in it, it's sad, and hopefully it can end well, and hopefully maybe it doesn't have to end, maybe, but there's no cure. There's no cure. There's no medicine for a narcissist. There's literally, I mean, it's sad because they're damaged souls and people, and whatever happened to them years ago, you know, there's a trauma that happens, that takes place. And if the trauma happens when they're 5 years old, their mindset kind of freezes, their growth freezes, and they stop, I mean, they grow and they mature, but they still have that childlike thinking, and it's all about them. So they're childlike. It's all about me. It's all about me. It's all about me. Yeah, I might have been all about me at times in the past, and but you know, I learned and I grew from it. So I don't think that I was really ever fully a narcissist. I mean, we all are a little bit, because we all want what we want, but to the degree where you're abusing people and you're destroying people and you're making people feel bad about themselves and you're judging people, and that's a whole different ballgame. So anyway, at the end of the day, you still stand your ground, you know, put that little bubble protection around you that, you know, only let people so far, you know, they can't hit you, they can't reach you. All what that they're spewing out you is bouncing off, and just going back to them, you know, return their toxic, you know, thoughts and toxic energy and toxic comments. Just return it back to them, because it doesn't belong to you. It's their sickness, it's their filth that they have to live with. And at the end of the day, they lay down at night and they will be the narcissist, and they will be the miserable person that they tried to make you feel so bad. And inside they know, inside their mind, they know the whole time, like, they're miserable. They don't even know why they're miserable, but they're always going to be miserable. So, you know, just remember that the best punishment for a narcissist is just to let them know, like, you will always be you. You know, I'm going to continue to grow. I'm going to continue to get better. I'm going to continue to you know, learn and feed myself and feed my spirit and strengthen my spiritual life. And in return, your physical body, you know, heals and gets strong. So that's what I'm doing. I'm on a spiritual journey. I've talked about it. I've touched on it here and there. I say a little bit of this, a little bit of that, but I really wanted to come back on and talk about this and talk about just identifying spiritual vampires, energy vampires, people who suck all your energy and you feel defeated and deflated and you lose your whole sense of who you even are. Don't let that happen. I'm not letting that happen. So stand your ground. You're going to be up for a battle. People aren't going to like it when you set boundaries, but don't give in. Just, you know, you're doing what you're supposed to be doing, and just have faith and hope and know that you're on the right path. And it might be kind of bumpy, but it's going to be good, and you're going to come out on the other side. And people who treat you bad and judge you are going to really, ultimately, they're going to regret it. So anyway, guys, that's going to be it for this video. I hope it was helpful and insightful, and I hope it was relatable. You know, if you're going through anything similar, please leave your comments, questions, and suggestions down below. I hope you do. I hope that you subscribe to my channel if you're not already. Please give this video a like, share my videos, share my channel if you can, friends, family, whoever. I mean, I obviously have some brains, you know, so I mean, if nothing else, I got something to teach, and to there's just so much more. There's just like, I'm this like 5'3", 130-pound woman that has lifetimes and lifetimes of stuff to share and to teach and to learn. So you guys are also helpful to me, and I appreciate you taking the time to even listen to me or watch my videos. But I love you guys, and I appreciate you, and I look forward to seeing you in my next one. More upbeat, more positive, but this stuff is good too. This stuff is good and upbeat and positive because it's healing and it's insightful and it's helpful, and it's not something that's going to break you down or make you feel bad. It's going to tell you, it's going to show you little ways to look at things differently and to protect yourself, and don't feed into the negativity, because that's what they want you to do. They want you to feed into it because that's what they need. You know, misery loves company. I said that earlier, but it was a whole different term when I used it. But yeah, so anyway, guys, I love you, and I hope you have a good night, and I will see you